When I found you, I saw raw, untamed power. And beyond that, something truly special.
Something inside me has always been there. But now it's awake. And I need help.
I've seen this raw strength only once before. It didn't scare me enough then. It does now.
9 billion names of Pod.
From Atlanta, where our barbecued porg is tender and juicy. It's the 9 Billion Names of Pod with Dan Bauman and Michael Reed. I'm Dan Bauman. I'm selling Supreme Leader Snoke brand face cream. Takes the ears right off.
So let's talk about some stuff.
Fulfill your destiny to talk about stuff.
Yes, we finally got trailer 2 for Last Jedi. Once again, sandwiched right in the middle of Monday Night Football. I guess it's an ABC Disney collusion thing.
Probably. Well,
Yeah.
there's a lot of eyes.
Yeah,
on that
it makes
night.
a lot of sense.
I mean, you think,
marketing-wise.
why would nerds want to be there watching football? Well, some nerds like watching football.
Also,
Not us,
also
but other ones
the
do.
nerds are in. I mean, there's no need to convince the nerds to go watch a Star Wars movie.
Right.
You know, you get the rest of America who might not be interested and say, "Hey, that looks cool." You know, you got X amount of millions of people watching that particular show.
And wow, Luke got old.
Yeah, yes, he did.
Your Corvette summer is over, buddy.
Oh, I
Now-
remember that movie. I watched that movie as a kid, obviously just because Mark Hamill was
Right,
in it.
right.
It was Mark Hamill and Annie Potts, wasn't it?
I
believe it was.
Annie Potts, who has been basically like beautiful and in her mid-30s for the last 40 years.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, the woman does not age.
We were at Cobb Energy Center here a year, 2 years ago or so, and it was Kristen Chenoweth was performing.
Right.
And for some reason, Annie Potts was in the audience, and she
Oh.
stood up, and yes, she looks exactly the same.
Trax, what do you want?
Yeah, I desperately wanted to like run into her in the lobby just so I could say sorry about the bug eyes thing. I don't know how that would go.
No, see what I would have came up to her and said, "You know what an older woman does for me? You remember?
Your laundry? Is
No,
that
no.
what it is?
Changes your diaper?"
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah,
Oh, John Hughes.
yeah. But he didn't make this movie, Last Jedi.
No.
So
Thoughts? The opening gambit. Just your general vibe and feeling.
my general overall feeling of the
Right.
whole thing.
Before we dial into the specifics.
Yeah.
Take it apart frame by frame.
Frame by frame. Well, okay, frame by frame. All right. Overall, I think it's a brilliant piece of marketing because I think it is all smoke and mirrors and misdirection. I think everything that they're insinuating is not exactly what we're going to get in a good way.
Okay, so what's the big insinuation that you call galactic bullshit on?
There are two.
Two.
There are two. There is a scene to get into it of Kylo
Yeah.
Ren.
Spoilers for the trailer?
Yeah, it's
I don't
out
think we
there.
need to spoil a trailer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pause this for 2 minutes and 41 seconds and then come back.
Just watch
and
the
then,
trailer.
Yeah. And we're back. So the big scene, the big crazy scene is Kylo Ren in his nice, pretty souped up TIE interceptor that he's flying around. It's pretty hip.
That's
a
the new
nice
vehicle,
ship.
TIE Interceptor.
Yeah, well,
And-
those have been around a while, but this is a new version of it.
Have the Interceptors?
Oh
been
yeah,
Same.
I think it's a deeper canon. They're not.
I would say on a level of Star Wars nerdness from 1 to 10, I'm comfortably around a 6. Like, love it, watch it.
Yeah.
But you're probably closer to like an 8 or a 9.
14.
Well,
No, there are
I
many
remember
who
in
are,
a certain trivia game
That's
where,
true.
but
That's
then again,
true.
that went into extended canon and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, basically, if it's in A New Hope, I will answer every question correctly.
Yeah.
Beyond that, diminishing returns. And if it's from the prequels,
I'm solid on most of that. But
Yeah.
no, the Interceptors have been around for a while.
All right, good for the Intercept. Well,
and-
we did get a new vehicle, a new version of a vehicle.
Several, the Walkers.
Yes.
Yeah, they're like.
They're more simian now. They've got the.
I'm wondering if we're going to see them climb up stuff. Ooh. That was the thing. I was just watching it now.
Get some prehensile action.
Well,
and
yeah,
kinda-
they've got like Magnon
right.
knuckle
They're
draggers.
they're walking on their hands, kind of like a gorilla.
Yeah, I think that's even what they're kind of being touted as, the Gorilla Walkers. I think, which is a great band name.
I can hear the the transmission hologram coming from Darth Vader after the Battle of Hoth. So let me get this straight. All they got to do is wrap some cord around the legs and then redesign these fuckers immediately. You idiot.
Yeah, bad. Nice first try, but
Yeah, exactly. That's okay. We spent $100 million on R&D and about $2 billion credits on manufacturing, and they didn't do barely anything. So sure, why not?
Lord Vader, they're 90 feet tall. They're expensive to make. We can't just scrap them and start over.
Yeah.
So Kylo Ren is in his fancy schmancy TIE Interceptor, which is real slick looking, and he's flying through stuff and being a badass.
Yeah.
And the big insinuation is that he targets and is going to kill Leia.
Right.
My opinion of that is it's too easy. It would really have no impact. I mean, just because of the events of Force Awakens, and if you have not seen Force Awakens, and
Why are you listening to
I have
this?
no idea why you're here.
Yeah.
Just go watch that and
Yeah.
come back. I don't think the prequels are just going to kill off a major character of. I don't think it would have the impact. And from Lucasfilms,
Hello, Force Awakens, major character killed off.
right? But if you do that in this movie, that's just what every movie's going to be. We're going to kill off your beloved characters in
Well, let's
all
see.
three of these.
We got Obi-Wan killed off in A New Hope. Who got killed off in really nobody?
Nobody
guess,
else. I mean,
in
Yoda
Empire.
died, but and
well,
Vader.
technically killed off by being written out, not by being murdered by an adversary.
I
so-
just mean for me, I don't think it's going to come through. Plus, unless it was all smoke and mirrors misdirection in real life from Disney, they were saying, well, we're not going to CG Carrie Fisher into episode
Yeah, that's been stated.
9.
That's been stated. Under no circumstances are we going to have a CGI Carrie in the third.
Right.
The third one. There may be unused footage, but we're not going to CGI.
I've heard
her.
they might not even do that. They're going to
well,
somehow write her out.
Yeah. Well, that's and
I mean, if they do that, if it does come to pass that's what happens,
Yeah.
I think it was more necessity than it might have been originally written. You know
well,
what I mean?
well, you heard the story. I mean, Carrie Fisher was talking with somebody. I can't remember who it was. He goes, "Yeah, the Force Awakens is kind of the Han Solo
Yep.
one, and the next one is the Luke one.
Yep.
The third one better be all about me." And they said, "It will be." No, it won't be.
No, it won't be.
Yeah.
And that's the sad part. So that's that's what leads me to believe, unless they rewrote it, which they kind of had to.
Exactly. Now, I hate to say this, but purely from a filmmaking storytelling, if Carrie Fisher had to pass away, which I would rather she not have,
Yep.
she did pass away at a time where, the second film in the trilogy is not in the can. It's
Yeah.
not even being shot yet. So we can adjust.
Well, no, it had been shot. I mean, her footage had already been shot. when she
I'm
passed
sorry.
away,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. It hadn't been locked.
Right.
In other words,
it wasn't finished.
Right. Exactly. They hadn't.
They were still shooting, but she had wrapped her stuff.
right.
by that
Exactly.
point.
So they were able to go, "Ooh, crap. Okay, we know what we were going to do in 3, so we got to change that, and then we got to,
Yeah, I think Maybe they will. Maybe that'll be what it is. But I don't think. See, the way I saw the story going, I thought she was going to have to be the one to redeem Kylo Ren. Like she was going to have to bring him back around.
Yeah.
And how do you do that now?
And that's the way it kind of works, at least, the original trilogy. Family member brings around the baddie at the end.
Yeah.
Not too many family members left.
No.
You got an uncle and you got a mother. You killed your dad.
Yep.
So, there you go.
Okay.
But then again, what two characters have been in every single Star Wars film?
3PO and R2.
And one of them is Darth Vader's Darth Vader's son, so Luke and 3PO are half brothers.
Not exactly, but I see what you're going at. Yeah,
Well,
he
who's
created
the father,
both of them.
Who's the father of 3PO?
True. He's the maker. Yeah.
I sit corrected. Or you sit corrected.
sit
I'm
corrected,
right.
Yes.
The Force is with me.
Yes.
I think what's that scene is in the trailer and in the film to show the struggle that he is still having.
Right. We gotta remember he's not having a struggle with leaning towards the dark side. He's having a struggle like he keeps being pulled to the light side.
Right.
So that's a really interesting.
I like that. If
I
it's
love
the same
it.
old
I think,
oh yeah, feel the dark side. Yeah. Dark side, whatever.
Yeah, he keeps
Lava castle. Whoop.
Yeah, he's made his choice, but the light side keeps pulling him out of it.
Right.
So that's really cool. So yeah, that conflict is really interesting, especially when he's like, I have to kill my mother to there's real motivation.
Fulfill your destiny.
Yeah. Now, the other thing that I kind of am dubious about was basically what they're insinuating at the end is she's asking Kylo Ren for help. Like Rey is asking, and he's gonna draw her out to the dark side, which I think that when I watched, I was like, when I saw Force Awakens, I was like, how interesting would it be if she flips, if she goes to the dark side? I think that would be really interesting, and he has to come and pull her out of it. That would be like, a hell of a twist.
Rey's like, all right, I'm on the dark side. And he's like, yeah, I gotta go.
Yeah.
I'm over there with the light side now. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
sorry.
man, I just went to the dark side. All right, I'll come back.
Yeah.
It's kind of like being in, at the border between two states, I'm here, I'm there. I'm dark, I'm light. I'm dark, I'm light. Now, I'll tell you, one impression that I had when I first watched it was, the mechanical hand coming out of the flames, and I went, just for a brief second, I went, so help me God, if that's supposed to be some kind of flashback to Darth Vader surviving being burned on the pyre, and I went, no, of course not. That's
it's Luke.
That's Luke after
after
the destruction of
his Jedi
training
academy
camp.
thing.
Yeah.
That he's doing.
So apparently we're gonna see, theoretically, the massive, when Kylo went bad, got his baddies together and just took out the whole thing.
Yeah, what they
Luke
insinuated,
escaped.
like they showed that one little bit of it in
Right.
In Force Awakens, where he's, that's maybe where his
And
hand
then
got
Luke
burned
ran
off.
away like a little bitch.
I gotta say,
He pulled a Yoda.
or a Ben, exile to.
Well, Ben was more like, all right, I'm going to keep.
I got a job to do.
I got a job to. Yoda's just like, I'm just going to go into a swamp and eat berries.
He was also going. They go into that in like some of the other stuff, like to get closer to the Force and all that. Like go total like Tibetan monk.
Kind of like go to the mountaintop and just commune with the Force.
Exactly.
He didn't choose a mountain. He chose a really nasty, humid swamp. And who knows? Maybe that's his own planet. Because we all know that Yoda's race is, oh, that's right, we don't. Nobody has ever named it.
There's one other, whatever he is, in the Jedi Council in the prequels. There's a female named Yaddle who never talks. You see her, but that's
Yaddle.
it. Yeah, which is, it
sounds.
Way to go, George.
It sounds like the couple from Princess Bride. Ah, Yaddle, you with
Yaddle
the talking,
and Yoda and,
talking with it, you.
But where was I going with this?
Have fun storming the lava fortress.
But
Dan, it's a fortress. with a lot of lava.
Gentlemen.
It's a dry heat.
I am kind of behind. I'm kind of digging the fucked up, like PTSD Luke. I kind of like it. It's cool that he's just fucking kind of nuts.
He is not Ben, you know. He has not handled his solitude
No.
and what's, you know, because basically you figure Ben did battle with Anakin, his friend, his star pupil, knowing what he had done at the Jedi Temple, cut off his limbs and left him for dead. And he went out in the desert, and when Luke finally stumbles across him there, you know, he's like, "All right, I'm very together and talking."
Well, he
and-
was also trained as a Jedi from birth, pretty much. He spent his whole life as a Jedi. Luke
Right.
was a whiny farm kid who met this guy who kind of get him to this.
He never did get to Tashi
He
Station.
never got those power converters. They're still sitting there.
His
That
power
guy-
is unconverted, Dan.
You know, and I think that going back to the first trailer where he's saying, you know, it's time for the Jedi to end. The Jedi, being a Jedi, has done nothing good for him
Yeah.
at all.
That's true.
Killed most of the people he knows, got his hand cut off. I mean, he got no benefit out of
and
it.
he's hanging out on the island with his mechanical hand out there. You know, after a while, it's like, you know, the fake skin probably fell off, and he's
Or
like,
it burned off in
possibly.
yeah.
And he's like, you know what? I'm not going to get the hot 20-somethings anymore. I'm just going to let it all hang out. And
Yeah,
you know,
I'm not going to rebuild. I'm not going to,
Yeah,
you know, not be
exactly.
a reminder of what his father became. You know, like
Yep.
don't become don't kill children. You know. So I'm digging
man,
this turn.
Guys out there, three things: don't kill children, don't rape, and you know, check your privilege. Those are the three things
Yeah.
in the universe. There,
Yeah,
you
we
know?
need a little bit of that.
If you need help learning how to not rape, believe me, ask somebody. They'll be able to tell you. It's like, what? Not even a little bit of rape? No, not even a little bit.
Was it rape, murder, arson, and rape? You said rape twice. I like rape. You know,
No.
terrible.
Anyway, as you were saying,
Yeah, no, I like this turn for Luke because they in some of the books in the extended, like before Disney killed all the EU stuff, Luke kind of just became this omnipotent figure. He was like he was like the only Jedi left, and he was training, you know, new generations. But he became Superman. He became hard to deal with because what it is. And I like fucked up. I'm gonna go hide on an island because I don't want to deal with this shit anymore, Luke. I'm into it. You know, fuck these robots and my sister and this. You know, I'm done. I don't want to deal with it. And now, you know, especially with, you know, training my nephew who killed everybody I know and tried to kill me and fucked
yeah,
up
but
the
you know
whole
what?
thing.
The trauma of that does not equal the trauma of kissing your own sister on Hoth.
That's what did it.
I mean, and the fact that at the time you liked it.
Yeah.
You really
Yeah.
liked it. That's some messed up crap right there. That is some messed up crap.
So I'm down with that. You know, we didn't get a lot of Carrie in this. We got just that. I mean, we got that chunk, but
Who knows how much she is in this one? Because remember, the original plan was the third one to be the Carrie film. So maybe she's not in it much more than she was in Force Awakens.
they said
maybe?
they said there's a good amount of
There's
her.
good?
They
Okay,
said
good.
there's a decent amount of her
All right,
in
good.
this one.
Good.
They said that after she passed. They said, you know, don't worry, we've got a lot of Carrie in the movie. We've got a lot of Leia for, you know, for everybody. So I'm happy about that.
Good deal.
Yeah. What else? What else?
We've got to address the Porg in the room. First of all right, Chewie's flying the Falcon, and its co-pilot can't even reach the what the fuck is that? Does it expand? I mean, we don't know anything about this thing.
Okay, well, here's the thing. You know, obvious toy.
Of course,
Obvious.
Everyone It's the.
They're already out there. You can get 'em.
It's the Furby of the teen or the
Yeah.
What are we in now? That we're in the teens.
I've told you this before, but there's a term that there was a Steven Spielberg cartoon called Freakazoid, which was insane.
Yes.
And
Was it marketing merchandise opportunity?
toyetic.
Toyetic, yes.
And
Very-
that's every time I see something like that, that's the word.
Well,
that goes
I'm
to my
sure
head.
that when Disney paid some billions of dollars for Lucasfilm, that came with all the toy rights, and they knew how much that
yeah.
was worth.
And-
let's face it, Lucas did Empire and Jedi outside the studio system. I mean, they went through 20th Century
From the
Fox,
toy money.
but the toy money, which they sold to him for what, like $10,000,
$10,000, yeah, something
like that,
shitty like
and
that.
he the returns were billions of dollars.
There is no ILM. There is no
Exactly.
There is no Lucasfilm.
So
there
thank
is no...
God, whatever executive that killed himself shortly after signing this deal, thank you for that, because ILM has done more for film than Harvey Weinstein ever has. Yeah, I haven't forgotten about you, motherfucker.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Right in the neck. Can you imagine the executive who sold George the 10,000? He just sit at his desk and he went, "He did what?" But
What the hell is an aluminum fountain?
but no, the Porgs they were obviously released pretty early.
Yeah.
They were released a couple months ago, and pictures of them, and they're marketing is fine and selling toys is fine. That's what kind of built this franchise.
Right.
And the last movie was BB-8. We're gonna make everything BB-8, and that's great. And they're like, okay, what do we do now? So they're doing the Porgs.
We're gonna cross a tribble with a penguin.
Yeah, that's pretty
And
much it.
Boom. Yeah. Basically, it's a tribble with doe eyes.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? But what I want to get, why is it there? Why is it in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon?
What we do know is they come from that island, from that weird little island.
What weird? That Luke's on?
Yeah, they're on Luke's island. They're like just inhabitants of that island.
No.
And
Yeah, right.
I think when they say the movie starts like at that point where Rey's handing him the lightsaber.
Well, yeah.
We go immediately into it. My thought is they're going to be little comic relief, and from what I gather, they're going to be like fucking up. They're going to be like messing with Chewie, and Chewie's going to hate him, and this thing. And I'm thinking one of them is going to stow away. And when they were first released, I was like, okay, are these Ewoks? Are they Jar Jar? Do we love them? Do we hate them? Is this BB-8 who turns out to be super cool? And watching this trailer, I was like, I think I'm in. I think if Chewie can get a little Porg buddy to hang out with.
You know what? It's like. It's like when you're a kid, and you say, "Oh, I want a puppy," and your father's like, "No, we're not having a dog." And eventually, you browbeat him, or mom does it behind his back, and he's like, "Arr!" And within like 2 weeks, him and the dog are inseparable.
Yeah. I'm hoping that's what it is.
That's Chewie's like. "Rah,
Can
rah,
you
rah."
imagine Chewie running into battle with the bowcaster and a Porg on his shoulder? That's going to be just badass.
That's the kind of little comedic touches that we've come to expect from Star
Yeah.
Wars. So
Chewie needs a little friend, I
Yeah.
think, because
well, there's a Han-sized hole in
I
his
know
heart wherever
I know,
that
and
is.
if he can take care of something, I'm down with that. I'm so marketing is fine, but I think I'm in on.
I mean, if it's integral to the story and not just we need product placement somewhere. Let's shove this in to make a toy. Then I'll be pissed off. But if it makes even the slightest bit of sense, like okay, all right,
Okay, here's where they are. Here is the total fuckery that they are doing.
God,
okay,
what are they doing?
Okay, the company called Sphero makes the little remote control BB-8 that I have. You saw
Right,
that, and they also made the little R2D2, which I have, which is amazing. If you
I
have-
played with it. It's
If you have not seen the Sphero R2D2, it is the R2D2 toy you have wanted your entire life.
Yeah.
it is perfect.
I would have tortured the crap out of the family cat, the family dog, my sister, my parents. I mean, yeah.
If you go back to the original R2D2 action figure, it kind of doesn't look anything like R2D2. The dome is wrong. The things are wrong. They got better as it went on.
Right.
This thing is to scale. It makes the noises. It's unbelievable. They also
It even shoots fire and oil, which is very problematic for keeping the carpets clean and the house unburnied.
unburny.
Hey, Bernie.
So So Sphero put out the R2D2. They put out the BB-8 first, and then now there's the evil ball droid, which is it looks like it's like a black and gold BB-8, and I was like, oh, who is this? And we don't know. He's not in the trailer. He's not in the other trailer.
Then hopefully he's not going to be the focus. Although if they're making a big old toy of him,
maybe
they're going to spring it on us.
I've seen like there's bobbleheads of it. It's BB like G9 or something. I don't know what it is.
But the nickname BB Hate.
Yes,
because it's the dark side.
Yep, my friend Courtney Groover, she coined that. That's where I heard it first.
Oh, nice. Now that they're able to have this technology, I want the little power droid that looks like a little footstool.
The mouse droid, yeah.
Yeah,
I think there is one. I think there is one
Oh,
coming.
man, those things were awesome.
Yeah, I believe they are making one of those. I don't know if it's Sphero, but
nice.
Now, the way you control the BB-8 and the R2 and all that is on an app on the phone.
Right.
What I noticed is what it is. It as it's booting up, there's a wallpaper screen and a connect button. So you hit connect, and it will detect what droids you have. So I have both BB-8 and R2D2, and it, boom, little picture of BB-8 pops up, little picture of R2D2 pops up. You hit whichever one you want and connect to it. Boom, you're good. What I noticed is there's a lot of extra slots in that thing that could fit some more droids.
How very toyetic of them.
Exactly. So there were the three that they released, there's BB-8 and the evil BB-8. And the motherfuckers, I got a thing from Sphero. Now there's an evil R2 unit that they're putting out as well. What? And I was like, you motherfuckers just repainted R2 to make this thing. And I'm like, I'm not paying. And I think it's even more expensive than R2. I was like, if it, maybe after the movie, if it has any kind of significant part and it has different sounds to it, maybe. But I was like, wow, that's some
it's almost like, hey, remember that album that you like? We're going to release it in red, blue, and green vinyl. You gotta collect them all. You gotta. It's your favorite band. Give us your money.
So I mean, the Sphero thing, like I said, the R2 is immaculate. It's perfect, but they're also pulling some bullshit on us with that.
Hey, I'm sure the budget for for The Last Jedi is nowhere near the budget for, say, Mother. I think $30 million is probably what they spend on craft services for The Last Jedi.
Right.
If that budget is too much south of $200 million for this, I'll be very surprised.
Yeah, it's got to be up
for
there.
These big tent films like that. The budgets are roughly about 150 to like 225,
if not 250.
And let's face it, it's for Star Wars. If the director said, "I'm going to need about 375 for this film," they're like, "All right."
The last one made $1 billion, so you're fine.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're not going to skimp on Star Wars. That's why they were able to hire Ron Howard and rewrite and reshoot the whole fucking Han Solo movie
film.
And do all those reshoots on Rogue One. I mean, Disney, they're funneling money into these things, but they can because the return is so huge.
It's like, please direct 2 of the semis of cash we got from Marvel.
Exactly.
And direct them over to Star Wars. Thank you very much.
Yeah, how many movies a year that Disney owns are making $1 billion? There's 4 Marvel movies and 2 Star Wars movies or whatever, and it's just they're fine. So there's no reason not to just keep to do what they got to do.
Forget Elon Musk. I mean, Disney could send us to fucking Mars.
Oh yeah,
and there'll be a magic kingdom there when we get to the planet.
And it wasn't Elon Musk; it was Stan Lee who sent us. Stan Lee and Kathleen Kennedy sent us to Mars.
Yeah, exactly. So, Star Wars Land.
Yeah,
couple years.
Yeah, 2019, I believe,
something like that.
Yeah, I'm sure there's gonna be a soft opening next year of some of it, but I think it's like the big finish, like the big crazy hotel immersive experience thing. That'll be 2019, which means we won't be able to get a reservation until 2021 probably.
But you know what? We'll keep an eyeball on it, and we'll save up our money. You don't need to buy a house, do you? No.
I'd like one, but
nah.
If we can go to
Star Wars Land,
Star
Wars Land in the first year with a full immersive experience, or a house.
Can we live?
Can I choose the color of my lightsaber? Yes. Sorry, house done.
Can we live at Star Wars Land? Is that an option?
You know, they've done the little villages in Orlando.
Oh, yeah.
Where you could pretty much live in a Disney community.
Yeah.
And part of me says, cool. Other part of me goes, it's all sanitized. What if I want to score some drugs or
Well, you can,
you know,
hopefully they allow you to leave the premises, you know, to go and do whatever you want.
no, everything you need is here in Disneyland,
That's
or
what
I guess Disney World in Orlando.
Yeah, who was it? Hank Scorpion on The Simpsons, who was hired. Do you remember that episode? It was Albert Brooks played Hank Scorpion, and it was he was building a commune. You know, and The Simpsons Homer got hired to do a thing, but he turned out to be a supervillain. He was trying to do a whole thing. Yeah.
Trust me, there'll be like 3 different subplots in the Last Jedi. We're like, Simpsons already did it. Simpsons already did it. Yep, that's already been on The Simpsons.
Yep. So what else in the trailer? We get to see Snoke a little tiny bit in real life.
Yeah, and you know what? What popped into my head, I don't place any belief in this, but I went, you know, that's kind of how Anakin's face would look if he somehow survived the fire, all gnarled and fucked up.
Yeah,
and I don't want that to be true.
No.
Darth Vader is dead.
Yeah.
If they find a way to bring him back, unless it is so spectacular that it's like, oh my god, I never thought of that.
No, I don't even think.
I just can't let it be.
The only way they could do it is he is so powerful in the Force, he was able to like revert from a Force ghost. But I don't think so.
No.
He's dead. We saw him on the other. He was all blue and glowy. And,
What I want is for it to be Darth Plagueis.
That's what a lot of people are saying.
I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, I'm down with that sometimes, but it bugs me sometimes when it always has to be someone we've seen before.
We haven't seen him,
but I mean, well,
he was
referenced.
He was spoken about. Someone so powerful in the Force that he could, save.
It makes sense. It really does. It's a good theory.
That would be that would be Luke, I am your father kind of reveal.
Yeah.
Now of course it's a reveal that was, of a character first talked about in the prequels, and
well, it's canon though. It matters.
I know. I just
yes, they're heartbreaking, but if we can mine something good out of it, why not?
Sure.
Can...
And let's face it, if you've been with the dark side for that long, I mean, figure this guy was already a legend on the dark side when the prequels were happening.
Well, it was alluded to that Palpatine was his apprentice,
right?
So and Palpatine was 50s, 60s when he was telling Anakin that,
right.
And that's 30, 40 years ago. So he's over 100 years
right.
old or so. Which, if you're a powerful Force
and
user,
we don't know,
why not?
And we don't know what species Plagueis is.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks relatively human-ish, but there's a lot of human-ish species in Star Wars. So, the standard, 100-year or less lifespan that we know doesn't apply to other species.
Right.
I mean, Yoda was, 800 years old or something like that?
Yeah.
And he looked good.
Yeah.
Looked good.
Yeah.
So that would be kind of cool.
That would be interesting.
I mean, if they're going to do the same kind of, if they're trying to follow the original trilogy, the beats, this is supposed to be the epic one that is the best of the trilogy.
Well, this is where the good guys get the shit beat out of them. And I'm down with that.
Of course.
Because Empire is so good. It's the Dark Knight. It's Empire.
I've already bought stock in chrome polish because I know Phasma's going to be a lot more prevalent in this film.
Yeah, I hope, not to make Finn the whipping boy, but I hope she whoops his ass in that fight because I just want her to be justified as
to exist. Why? Okay, I get that you're a commander. Awesome.
But why?
Why are you shiny? What purpose is it?
One thing I read was that her armor was made out of and this might be internet bullshit, but that her armor was made out of either the same thing or out of, remember Amidala's ship in episode 1? It was big and shiny.
Nubian.
Yeah.
Nubian.
Her ship was all crazy, shiny
Right.
CG. Supposedly it was made out of that ship. I don't know. But
Okay.
But why is she? How did she raise to that rank if she got tackled by a Wookiee and thrown in the trash compactor?
Yeah,
She was kind of a waste, and that sucks. So if they can redeem,
if that's a setup for how badass she's going to be, I mean, come on, Gwendolyn Christie.
yeah, you don't
She
hire
can
her,
kick both our asses.
right? You don't hire her, and you don't cast her in that role. Just because she's a woman,
or because she's Gwendolyn Christie.
Yeah, you make that character. You use everything you can
Right.
with that
I
character.
mean, you've hired a named person. Now, then there's Daniel Craig, which you just sneak in there and then he's out.
Yeah.
That wasn't a thing. That was like,
That's a
hey,
cameo.
Is
That's
there
a
a thing
gag.
I can do? Sure.
Yeah.
You can do that. Yes, I will do that. And
Yes.
then I will, yes, I will leave now. Yes, I will do another James Bond film. Like, the Force is strong.
Yeah,
He is coming back.
He is coming back.
One more after.
know.
I think the reason for that, I believe, Sam Mendes is not going to direct the next Bond film, and I think that was a deal breaker because if Mendes was on the film, Craig said, "I'm not working with him
Really?
again." I believe so.
Huh. I know he.
I mean, I read it on the internet. It has to be true.
Yeah, I know he. Because he was famously said, he would rather kill himself than do another Bond movie.
Yep,
But
that's it.
I guess
I
maybe it
think,
might have been.
I think that is code because it's not just I'm sick of doing Bond. There's a reason for this shit.
Yeah.
And I think the reason was Mendes.
Yeah,
So-
I've worked on shows with difficult people, and it made me not like the show.
Yes, exactly.
And it
Even
sucks.
yeah.
Because of certain shows that had wonderful subject matter
And
that I liked.
I've worked on shows that were abominably bad, but the people were so awesome, I enjoyed the entire experience.
Absolutely.
And just kind of went, yep, the show sucks. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, you can't do
And we can all kind of quietly joke about it, when the author and the producers and the out-of-town New York people aren't there.
Right.
Bull Durham, the musical. Sorry, had a little bunch of horrible dialogue in my throat there. Yeah, so let's hope Phasma. I want to see her have. It looks like she had kind of like a laser bantha stick or something. I don't know what the hell she was.
And it looked like
rocking.
Finn had the same stick the traitor guy had.
Yeah, exactly.
The riot baton or whatever it was. So, because, he doesn't. I was like, has he got a fucking lightsaber? Oh, no, that's that same thing. So
Right.
I want to see them go at it. I want to see.
And I guess the trailer reveals, yes, Finn is not only better, but he is all the way better.
Yeah.
I thought maybe he was going to come back and have some issue that would play into the storyline, but it looks like he's completely healed.
Yeah. Oh, going back to, I wanted to make a point on something we were talking about before.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be funny. So which reveal do we get?
Yeah.
Do we get who Snoke is, or do we get who Rey's family is? Because I think they're going to fuck us on one of them. Because I don't think they're going to give us both of them in this movie. Ooh. Imagine that.
Now, just off the top of my head, I would like it to be Snoke because it would set the scene. Now you know who you're dealing with for the final, and the trilogy's like,
Yep.
Oh shit, we're dealing with Plagueis or whatever,
Or whoever it is.
oh my god, that's who that guy is. Oh, the rebels just got their ass kicked, and in 3 it does not look good. And then, of course, it's going to be good because...
Well, yeah, it's Star Wars.
Now, see, if I had my way, damn it, there'd be some pretty heartbreaking, fucked up shit in 3, and there would be no clear winner. There would be no, yub yub song.
Yeah.
It would be kind of like, the First Order's still around, there's some rebels still around, but there's been a lot of heavy losses, like life.
Yeah, exactly.
But we're not doing life, we're doing fantasy. So they have to tie it up in a somewhat tidy bow. But after Return of the Jedi, we thought, great, Empire's gone, everyone's celebrating it. Oh, look, the Nazis are back 30 years later. What?
Right. Well, the Empire, yes, the Death Star blew up, and but there was still the Empire was the Empire of the galaxy. There was still plenty of guys out there to.
Well, hell, they blew up the record storage in Rogue One.
Yeah,
and it was a horrible blow to the Empire, but they did just fine.
They kept.
As a matter of fact, didn't Tarkin say, take out the whole installation? Kind of like, you know.
Yeah, scrub it.
Just like, nah, it's fine.
Yeah, we've got backups, you know.
Darth Vader's got an ATM on that light bright torso of his. We'll just pull out another 2 trillion credits.
I also think if we get the Snoke reveal, and we don't get the Rey's family reveal, it's just gonna piss off the entire internet, which will be hilarious because that's
who?
No, I mean in a good way. I think it's funny because it'll just the speculation will just keep going and get wilder and wilder and wilder. I think it will be a total fuck you to everybody, which would be so goddamn funny.
Just as long as Luke doesn't pull a Mark Maron in Glow with Rey. And those of you who have seen Glow, you know what I'm talking about. Have you?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Hey, I was going, oh my God, okay. But then Rey doesn't know, so we'll
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Really? That'd be that kind of Aronofsky, Todd Saldana's twist. That there's a reason why you don't bring in David Lynch or these people to do Star Wars. Could you imagine David Lynch doing the 3rd Star Wars film? Actually, I could, and I would really like to see it. I don't think it would.
He was in line to do one of them.
I did hear that
the prequels, I think.
No, it wasn't the prequels. I think it was one of the. Well, maybe
it was something like that,
or maybe it was one of the originals back in the day. Because remember, he was hot. He was in the
hot.
80s.
Yeah.
I mean, he did Dune.
Maybe Empire.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because we all know, after directing A New Hope, Lucas went, nah, I'm done, and he didn't direct a single other film until the prequels.
Yeah.
And let's face it, if you don't ride a bike for 30 years, it's going to be, you're not going to fall off, but you're not going to be able to jump curbs and BMX your shit like you used to. And it shows.
Yeah. And not for nothing, he wasn't the greatest director to begin with. He got lucky on that first movie. The movie just clicked and it worked.
He was still fresh out of was it UCLA probably?
USC maybe.
Is it US
Film school or maybe UCLA?
UCLA is the big film school in Los
Angeles.
Angeles.
That one.
In UCLA, and he still had his chops writing wise.
And he also had some of the best directors or the best future directors as his best friends. I mean, Francis Ford Coppola looked at this movie, and
this
Brian
little
De
unknown
Palma.
talent that nobody's heard of since Steve
something or other.
Steve Berger something I can't remember.
Springsteen something like that.
Like that. He's done some stuff.
Right.
I don't know. So now of course for the third one we've got J.J. Abrams back.
We do have
and
J.J.
surprisingly, the fanboys went boo and started petitions. And I'm like, I understand your complaint that Force Awakens was too much like A New Hope. I get that because I agree with you. But it kind of was necessary to kind of extend a hand of apology for the prequels and go, we're bringing Star Wars back, the Star Wars that you remember. It's just that we remembered a bit too much of it.
Yeah.
And as long as this film and the next one do not have any super weapons that have to be destroyed, we're done with that.
By an X-Wing flying into it. I mean, we've done that. Let's not...
We've done that, what, 1, 2? We've done it 3 fucking times now.
Yeah. Do
over.
The interpersonal conflict.
Yes.
Do the internal
And that's where
thing.
the story is.
Yes.
Seriously. And no one goes, wow, I can just watch the Death Star blowing up over and over again.
Space battles are cool.
Yeah, it's like, Luke, I'm your father. That's the motherfucker. The
you do
jokes
that
with Chewie.
You do that whole Kylo Ren flying around, space battle scene. You do that in the middle, and you get away from it. You get to, Snoke, Rey, Kylo, Luke. That's where it's got to be.
Maybe a lava fortress?
Maybe. Maybe he,
Who knows where Snoke's hanging out? Maybe he's on Dagobah. Maybe he likes I like a moisty. What can I say?
Yeah, maybe Kylo Ren is living in Vader's castle on
have you
Mustafar.
heard I saw it in the trailer. You remember they moved the scar.
Yes.
And you know what? I agree with the reason because it looks stupid coming across the bridge of his nose.
Yeah.
and they moved it, and the fanboys freaked out. And I'm like, dude, it wasn't a mistake. They did it on purpose. This is why. Slow your fucking roll.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's all you have to bitch about in the second one,
Yeah, chill the fuck out.
then you're going to be very happy if that's the worst thing you have to deal with.
Yeah.
Exactly. Crystal Fox. What, from what the director has said, it's an animal that is made of crystal.
Oh, it is crystal.
It is crystal.
Because I read something, I thought they said that plane was like salt or something. So I thought maybe, salt is crystal, I guess. Crystalline, at least.
Crystalline, exactly.
So, yeah, it's like, what are those guys?
And apparently that's the creature that people are even more abuzz about than Porg. Because it's like, it's a cute little crystal fox. What's up with that? What's happening there?
What planet is that?
Exactly. And which brings us to the planet that I think is going to get someone a nomination for cinematography, is the planet with the red dust.
Yeah.
I mean, not just, the coppery red of Mars. We're talking bright, frickin', opening Olympic ceremony type red dust.
Yeah.
And if it's shot the way I hope it is, it's going to be beautiful. Mm-hmm. It's going to be epic in scope.
And in the first trailer they showed more of those ships that look like kind of like bee wings, that the tip of it was going into the into the salt, and like the beautiful trails of red.
It was gorgeous.
Yeah.
So,
it's like, who are they? And what is it? And
exactly.
That's one thing I'll say about both trailers. I don't think they reveal too much. Like, even there was a big controversy. Did you see that?
Rian Johnson posted, I don't think you should see it. It reveals too much. That may have been a total.
I was thinking that was Moffat level fuckery.
That's exactly what I was getting at. That was like,
you shouldn't watch it because no.
It's going to reveal too much.
Yeah, if you wanted to go in absolutely cold, you don't watch any of the trailers. But
you know what? Ideally, I would love to go in absolutely cold. But when there's 2 minutes of footage of the new Star Wars out there, there's no way.
No, there's no way,
No.
and you couldn't avoid it. Any of the websites we frequent are going to be talking about it and breaking it down, and it's hard to avoid. I will avoid most of the TV spots that are going to come out that have a little extra footage, and the international trailers that have.
Who watches commercials anymore anyway?
They pop up on stuff, not on TV, but I mean on. All the spots will end up on those websites, and those I will actively not click on, and the Japanese trailer that has the extra stuff, because those will spoil shit, and I'm good. I don't need to see anymore. I have fucking tickets for us. We're going preview night.
Preview night.
Yeah.
Was it 6 o'clock?
6 o'clock.
So probably about the earliest anyone could see it. Relatively easy without being special industry type folk.
And I don't know if I told you this. It's not 3D.
Wait.
It's the tickets we got. They're not 3D.
Is there a 3D version?
I don't know. I haven't heard that there would be. No, I don't think so, because it doesn't say real.
Star Wars doesn't. It shouldn't be 3D. I don't like. No. I mean, I'm very ambivalent about 3D because it's been done so poorly.
Right.
By other people. And I don't think Star Wars needs that. Now, if it's just for extra depth of field and none of that,
But still.
Ooh, look, the laser's coming right at your face. Screw that. I hate that, and I don't want that.
But we are seeing it in IMAX. I don't know if I told you that.
Oh, I did not know that.
I didn't realize it either until I got the tickets. I was like, why are these tickets so goddamn expensive? It's preview. We're gonna get like a poster and some swag and some stuff.
Oh, wow.
And it's fucking IMAX. I was like, oh, and I've been to that IMAX theaters too. It's just good. It's just like a nice size and
nice stadium seating.
Yep, and assigned seats. Boom.
Oh,
I did it right, people. I got really lucky.
Oh, Danny boy. Danny boy.
So, any last thoughts on the trailer? Like, it starts out with Kylo Ren looking over some factory, it looks like.
It looks like they're manufacturing new...
Whatever. What could it be?
The new version of the AT-ATs, perhaps?
Maybe.
I'm not quite sure. It wasn't too clear what was being
what's going on. There's a bunch of shots of the First Order. So the First Order is fine, just like the Empire was after the Death Star blew up. Okay, they blew up Starkiller Base, but there's still plenty of guys out there. Yeah, it's...
Even after he sold the company, some of those dumb names keep coming. I'm still waiting for the new bad character to show up, like, Darth Evil Guy. Like, really? Can you think for more than 1 second to name these characters? Darth Evil. Like, yes, we get it.
Yes, we get it. So yeah, the First Order is still looks like they're kicking pretty good.
And manufacturing ready for a big assault.
Yeah, they didn't. The Resistance did not cripple them in any way.
Or maybe they set them back.
Yeah. Definitely pissed them off.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Made it
at least protected whole planets from being destroyed by magic light energy weapons that somehow split and know where to go, define the entire laws of physics. I mean, what? I don't even.
Yeah, don't even. Just let it be.
I mean, it wasn't enough that they just destroyed one planet. They could have done that. Like, okay, it's like the Death Star, one planet, but no, it had to be a bunch of planets.
5 planets, and
okay,
in one shot.
Are there like little? Like pool bank shot satellites out there to hit, and the light goes to.
I'll go with that. Yeah,
sure. A nice little chrome balls in space that when you hit it, it deflects the killer planet-killing laser to go to the left and then destroy that planet.
Right.
It was the world's most intricate bank shot, is what I'm saying.
Exactly. So what? If you had your you had your druthers, what one thing would you like to see out of either this movie or the next one? And I know what I would like, but I don't know if we'll ever get it.
Oh, good grief! Well, what we've spoken about, I want to know what the hell is up with Snoke.
Yep.
Obviously,
well, you'll get that.
Obviously, Rey has power.
Yep.
Now, is this Skywalker lineage power, or is this another bloodline, or is there? I mean, the reveal on Rey is going to be significant.
Right.
What it is,
I still don't think she's a Skywalker.
I would hope not, because that would be a little too
too easy.
Okay,
they've been done. Yeah.
Leia,
I'm your father.
I think Leia would remember giving birth to another child. Like, whoops, whatever happened to that kid?
Right.
It would have to have been Luke's daughter that he didn't know about.
And I don't.
And
it's just and it's.
Hey, he blew up a couple Death Stars. The ladies are all over him. It's yub time.
Yeah.
And you never know. At the end of Return of the Jedi, maybe Anakin's looking all blue ghosty, going, "Oh, he's gonna hit that."
Well, the thing I definitely would love to see, I don't think we would ever see it, and I've probably said this before.
The death of Jar Jar. I know. I agree.
Well, no. I want to see Chewie whoop Kylo Ren's ass. I want to see. Can you imagine like Wookiee rage on that motherfucker for killing Han? Can you imagine that? That's what I want.
He could probably kill Chewie by shooting him, but by the time Chewie would die, Kylo would have been like a fine mist on the ground.
He'll be pulp.
He'll be like, V in V for Vendetta. Gets shot 900 times, but still has enough strength to wring the neck of the guy he needs to kill. That'll be Chewie like, okay, I'm taking blaster shots. And
I just see him coming out of nowhere and just
punching him.
Just ripping his arms off.
Or maybe Kylo's coming back to the light side, and he's trying to make amends and stuff, and there's that tension between Kylo and Chewie,
because they kind of, that's his kind of his uncle.
Yeah,
in a way.
Exactly. Uncle Chewie
raised him. I'm sure.
Well, you remember that little cartoon?
Yeah.
Where he had the shot. He had a headshot, and he just hit him
in the gut.
Just like, okay, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna hurt you real bad. And all the memories of growing up with that brought a legitimate tear to my eye.
That was
like, yeah, that's right. It's not like Kylo sprang from Leia and then Chewie never saw him until they're on Starkiller Base.
No.
They
raised him together, I'm sure.
To a certain point, and then of course
he went off to
Leia sent him off with Luke to be trained.
Well, we don't and I'm assuming he went relatively young, just if Luke was really trying to do it, because we know that the Jedi, when they were training, they took him way young, like toddlers.
Yeah. Well, remember that master thespian, what's his name? Jake Lloyd. The prequels. Ow. He was already, what was he, like, maybe 8?
Yeah, he was like 8.
6,
when
7,
he-
8,
when he
somewhere
shot
in
that,
there.
yeah.
And like, he is too old. I'm like, wow, you pretty
Yeah,
much.
they
Doctor,
snatch him.
Doctor spanks him on the ass, cuts the cord, and like puts a lightsaber
Pretty
in his hand.
much.
It's like, go to town.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm assuming it'll be like a teenage angst kind of thing. Like he because it had to have, just from what they said in Force Awakens, Leia and Han split up after he did that, and it seems like that's been a while. So we're looking at a several year span of he probably went in young and got figured out who he was, and then somehow Snoke, like, because Han even says something about Snoke, like they know that he was there,
Right, they know.
So
they know
either
that's-
maybe he was involved with Luke, maybe Luke was helping him put it together.
Yep.
It's like, oh, there's a lot of questions.
Maybe we'll get some flashbacks about how Snoke came to, but Star Wars doesn't really do flashbacks. I mean, as a storytelling device, it's pretty straightforward.
Right.
I mean, I can't, obviously when Rey touched it, but that's not.
But that was a
flashback.
vision.
That was a vision.
Yeah.
So that's not a
So
storytelling.
maybe we'll get more of that. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I would expect maybe something like that would be a device they'd use in the standalones, but the mold has pretty much been set for how you do the episodic ones.
Yeah. Yes.
And
Yes.
so
there is a structure in place for them.
But it's it was Ryan Johnson.
Ryan Johnson. Yeah.
Ryan Johnson's the guy, but RIAN because
Well, he's all British and such.
Oh, is he?
I believe so. Yeah.
Those Brits.
Yep.
Well, Pinewood is basically home to Star Wars.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
absolutely. That's where they were originally made. They said they were just making the original one. I think it was Mark Hamill said, like, as they were walking down the aisle in the medal ceremony at the end, like they could just hear the crew making fun of them and how stupid the whole movie was. Fucking wankers, American.
And guess who had the last laugh?
Exactly. Now those guys are like, I worked on that movie. Yeah.
Yeah, the colonies did pretty good.
Pretty good on this.
Pretty good.
And the last shot of the trailer, well, one of the last shots is what looks to be Snoke fucking Rey up. Like
we don't
know if it's him, but it's alluding to that.
Right, we don't see what's happening there. It could be
something's happening.
It could be the quickening, and there could be only one Jedi. I will say this: that close up of Snoke was pretty good.
Yeah.
If that's makeup, award time. If that's CGI, that's award time, because that looks legit. That doesn't come across as CGI at all.
No.
I mean, it's pretty damn good.
I think it is. I think it's the next level, mocap stuff, because it's Andy Serkis.
I mean, I could see the capillaries in his eyes.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked legit.
Yeah.
And this Andy Serkis, he does good work.
He's done one or two of these before. Yeah,
Okay.
he's done performance capture once or twice. Yeah.
Let's hope that maybe. I mean, obviously he's not going to get an Academy Award for, a Star Wars film, but you know what? If a Lord of the Rings film could win Academy Award for Best Picture, why not a Star Wars film?
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, they always win the tech awards, but like one of the quote unquote real awards would be pretty heavy.
Well, when you've got ILM back in your play, pretty much awards get a transport, open up the back, and just shovel in all the gold and the orbs and whatever the hell they're giving out. Mm-hmm. Now, one thing I forgot to mention. Remember, we were talking about BB-8.
Yeah.
All right, so R2-D2 has like flying and oil slicks, right? Mm-hmm. BB-8 has like grappling hooks and little
thumb torch,
little flame to come out at concerts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Apparently, if you piss off BB-8, out will come
medication time. Medication time.
We ran out of time. I will tell you in 12 parsecs?
Yeah. The 9 Billion Names of Pod was conceived, written, and performed by Michael Reed and Dan Bauman, with Abdul Benny Hassan as the sound of splintering wood. Research, transportation, and exasperated looks by Courtney Lohner. Technical assistance by Cubase, Pro Tools, Skynet, Keylab, Deep Thought, Big Brother, and Eddie, our shipboard computer. Financial consideration provided by the Wayne Foundation, Stark Industries, the Piranha Brothers, and LexCorp. Legal counsel by the Office of Howard and Fine. Stupid girl shows up on my island, fucking lightsaber, and ruining my whole day.
Didn't even bring my hand.
There was a hand. Did you find the hand? Our intro music was written by Tim Akers. This podcast was sponsored by Deep Shag Records and its production of Audio Primate. Throw us a couple stars on iTunes, why don't you? Listen, watch on YouTube, listen on SoundCloud, stream us on Stitcher, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, or email us, comlink@billionpod.com. Until this happens again, I'm Dan Bauman.
I'm Michael Reed.
LOZ!
Audio Primate.